If I literally keep messing with this angle for the next 12 hours, we're never ever gonna get a video. So, hi guys! Please excuse my one fingernail that is off. It was the same way in the last video, but I covered it up with a band-aid and then I ran out of band-aids, so I can't cover this one up and we're just gonna leave it. Okay. So now that I got that out of my system, hi, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be filming today. Today's topic is something I'm obviously in love with, if you read the title. We're talking about crystals, my absolute favorite topic of like all time. I love crystals. I love everything about them. So let's start with like the history of crystals and me. Not the history of crystals, I don't know the history of crystals. My sister was really into them. I like loved the way they looked, and then she got me one and I kind of just loved it. I like instantly felt connected to it and I instantly was just like drawn to it. Like I was like, yes, I'm obsessed with this. What is this? So that was like 2 or 3 years ago that I started getting into crystals. When I first started them, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, what is a crystal? I don't really get it. Like, is it just, you just like have it around? Like, I didn't totally understand it. And that was kind of at the same point in my life where I started doing yoga. I started really practicing yoga. I started going to hot yoga classes. Yoga really, really taught me how to center myself and connect. I feel like I was never really able to do that before. I like never was able to meditate. I didn't even like know what meditation was. And once I started learning how to like connect inside and in here, I felt like I could connect to crystals. This disclaimer is like, I feel like when you talk about crystals, you kind of have to understand that some of the things sound a little like hippy dippy, crazy, a little out there, but you know, some people make fun of it, some people don't. You have to just understand that sometimes it's gonna sound a little like crazy. The one thing that I want to say about crystals, this intro is kind of all over the place, but the one thing I want to say about crystals is that, you know, some people believe in them fully 110%. They use them for healing, you know, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Some people just like them for the aesthetic of them, but there is a scientific like reason behind crystals. Everything in the world, right, has energy. Like everything. That's like a scientific fact that everything has energy. So these crystals, all of these, they all have energy. I believe that you give off energy, you attract energy. I love crystals because I feel like they help facilitate energy in a room. For me, they're very soothing and very calming. I am an earth sign. I'm a Capricorn. I do kind of have my roots in the earth. Pretty much every single stone you'll hear me say it's a grounding stone. Like I said, I'm an earth sign, so I really like things that bring you in, that ground you, that help keep you stable. I like the centerness. Does this hand motion like convey what I'm trying to say?
No, not at all.
Like, I just like when things come like in. I kind of like to have all my crystals together. I keep all of my crystals on this little marble thing I got from Home Goods. It was $3.99. I probably should take that price tag off. This is all over the place because I feel like there's so much to crystals that I want to get right, but I want to just be the disclaimer that I am not, absolutely under no circumstances am I a crystal expert at all. I just started getting into crystals really heavily, probably within the last year and a half. I am not a professional. Everything I say, I learned from Google and books. Speaking of, this is my favorite book. It is called The Encyclopedia of Crystals, and it is literally just pages and pages of crystals. They color code it by the type of crystal. So like the pages are blue. These are all blue crystals. I feel like a kindergarten teacher. These are yellow pages, yellow crystals. It kind of goes by like topics. So like, for instance, there is harmony in H. It tells you all the crystals that would relate to harmony. So if you're looking for something in particular and you don't really know what it is, you can kind of turn to this. So it's cool. One last disclaimer. Like, let me show you, for example. Do you see how long this description is? Little font, a lot of words. Everyone relates to crystals differently. So I'm gonna read that paragraph and I'm gonna pull out certain things that relate to me. Whereas someone else, same crystal, might read that paragraph and pull out totally different things. So all of the facts that I'm going to tell you about my crystals are the ways that I relate to them. So I went through and I have it all on my laptop. I typed up all of the crystals and things like that. So the first one we're going to start with is this little baby white guy. He's so cute. So this little guy is magnesite. I don't know. I'll put the spelling up. I don't know how it's pronounced. This is a calming stone. Every stone has different properties. This one is a calming one, and the reason I like it is because it helps bring love into situations that are difficult by putting the focus on yourself. Kind of a crazy sentence, but I'll break it down. The one thing that I like about crystals is I feel like they help create space. Crystals allow for energy flow, which to me can alleviate tension, alleviate stress. When energy is flowing, it allows for room for new energy to come into your life. This calming stone helps ease yourself and put the focus back on you so that you can then radiate love. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I just like that it kind of creates space so that you can love yourself and then put love back out. Little baby stone, calming, we're here for it. Okay, so this next little guy is, I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation, but it's tourmalated. The word itself is tourmaline.
Ugh, I lied. It's tourmaline.
But then when you put the ED at the end, I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know. Tourmaline quartz. It is a mix of tourmaline and a quartz crystal. So tourmaline is usually like a black and white mix, and then quartz are like clear crystals. This is a mix of both. Mine only has like 2 little black dots on it, but I still love it anyway. So this is a grounding stone. Again, I relate very strongly to grounding crystals. I feel like when I'm up in the air and I'm in my head and I'm going kind of crazy, and I feel like it helps center you. And the thing I like about this crystal is because it has both the tourmaline and the quartz, together they work to balance positive and negative energy. It takes dense, really heavy negative energy, things that might be weighing on you, things in your environment that are really heavy on you, and it makes it into like a really lighter vibration, which is why I really like it. I like things that help relieve tension. I feel like I'm a very stressed out, anxiety-ridden person, so I like crystals that help ease that. My next one in my little pattern is this little tiny baby citrine, but I actually have a bigger one as well. So citrine is a super, super powerful cleanser. All of your crystals at some point need to be cleansed. You can cleanse them in the sunlight, you can cleanse them in the moonlight. I personally relate to the moon. The weirdest sentence I might have ever said, but I relate to the moon, and I'll explain that with one of my crystals. So citrine, super powerful cleanser. It actually never needs to be cleansed. I first actually started getting into citrines because certain crystals have physical like properties, like they can help with your body. Citrine is really good for like bladder and like feminine. And I have a few issues. I've got endometriosis, PCOS, some fertility diseases, a whole nother video for another day. I like the thought of having crystals around that help promote, you know, health for that, like feminine ailments. What is that? What did I even just say? Feminine ailments? I don't know. It's like, it's good for your bladder, and I like that. So shouts to citrine. Some crystals are light. They have a higher vibration, as some people will say. They're like an energetic crystal. This one is an energetic crystal. It helps promote creativity. It brings in energy, and it also helps with physical stamina. So it gives you energy both spiritually, and then it is also supposed to help physically give you energy. So we've got this little clear guy, clear-ish yellow orange mix that I don't know how to pronounce. It's called carnelian. I don't know. So the carnelian is a stabilizing stone. It's not up in the air, it's not on the ground, it's very stable. It's kind of calming, but they call it a stabilizing stone. This is also commonly referred to as the career stone. Helps promote ambition and drive. Yeah, this is the career stone. So this guy, who is beautiful, is called Unakite, and I love this stone. It's called the Stone of Vision. And so what they say that this stone does, it helps bring light to things that happened in the past so you can heal from them. Kind of think hindsight, you know? Hindsight is 2020. Think that when you think of this stone. So Unakite, they say that this reaches the root of issues to help you heal and then move forward. Even just holding it, like I have I feel like my heart kind of connects to it. Like literally even just holding this, I feel like lighter, I feel more calm. Would be a really good crystal for like healing and things like that. Okay, so now we're getting to one of my favorites, and I'm probably gonna say that like 100 times. This little chicken nugget is called a moonstone. Beautiful little colored moonstone. Right in the title, it connects to the moon. I connect to the moon so much. It's actually what my tattoo is on my finger. It's 3 phases of the moon because I obviously cannot fit every phase. And the reason I got them is I believe that everything in life is a phase or a cycle. Good times are a cycle, bad times you get through everything. I'm really big into phases of your life. I think you should celebrate phases. Some people shy away from them and you think you have to be the exact same throughout your whole entire life. I don't believe that. I believe you can change, you can evolve. This stone helps you remember that everything is a cycle. So things come and they go, just like the moon. So this crystal is a crystal of intuition. It helps you kind of trust yourself. It's also feminine energy, so you can relate that to being very light, airy, very comforting, very nurturing, and it's a moonstone, so I'm just like, all of those things together, sign me up. This is a smoky quartz cylinder. Smoky quartz are cool because they can either be completely translucent, I don't know what word I just tried to say. They can range from completely translucent to like a brownish color. Mine is like a really like, it goes from translucent, why can't I say that word? Translucent. Mine is translucent. I'm gonna end that sentence so that I don't keep repeating it. So this is one of the most efficient grounding crystals because it has a really strong link to the earth. I also really like this crystal because it's said to neutralize energy. So if negative energy is coming in, this crystal is said to help neutralize it. It's a detoxifying stone, purifying, all those fun, fancy words. I love this one. This is pyrite, right? Yeah, pyrite. So this pyrite is a masculine stone, actually. I'm really super big into balance in my life. I have a feminine stone. I like to also have a masculine stone, but the reason I actually like this is because this crystal has relations to both earth and fire, and I love that combination. It's super, super powerful, super strong, and I love that energy. So that's actually why I'm drawn to this crystal. Kind of like a bad bitch stone. Okay, bitch. I connect to this. I love it. So this guy is called a blue jade. So the reason I like this, I get overwhelmed very easily. I have anxiety, so sometimes that can like just really heighten a situation for me and I get overwhelmed very fast. This stone is actually really, really good for people who get overwhelmed because this is a peaceful, like a peace and serenity stone. This stone's energy is slow but steady, which I thought was kind of interesting because a lot of the crystals I have, you know, you don't really think about how the energy flows, but this one, it says it flows slow but steady, and I thought that was cute. I was like, oh, that's slow but steady. So this crystal is beautiful. This is a man-made crystal. So this is Green Goddess. So green relates to abundance in crystals. I actually picked this crystal because I just loved the color of it. I love green, is my favorite color, and I just love the sparkles of this, and I love the way it feels. It's like so smooth. It actually relates to your nervous system to help heal you. So it's a healing crystal, supposed to connect to all your nerve endings and use that to help heal and alleviate you, which I thought was cool. So this beautiful crystal is called sodalite, and I love it. It's like a blue marble. This crystal actually helps with panic attacks. So this helps connect up here to down here, connect your mind to your physical body. It unites logic and intuition, which creates space. And I think that that is like beautiful and I love it. So the next crystal is one of the new ones I just got. This is an iron obsidian. Some people call it a mahogany obsidian. Black obsidian is my favorite kind of crystal, which I'll talk about in a little. This one is just mixed with iron, which gives it that cool like speckled effect. This is a grounding stone. I love those. Y'all already know this by now. So this crystal relieves tension and protects your aura. So I think I said earlier, I believe in auras, I don't know how to pronounce it. Everyone has one, just like how when you walk into a room and your roommate or your friend, your boyfriend, your mom, dad, you can tell they're in a bad mood. They don't have to say anything to you. You just like know they're in a bad mood. It's because their energy is saying that. This one protects your aura. So when it's relieving tension, it helps keep you, I guess. It helps keep you centered. And then from that, you can grow. So this is the first crystal I ever got. It is a tiger's eye crystal, which is actually the Capricorn stone. Tiger's eye is a mix of earth and sun. So it connects the two to create like a really high vibration. So they say it helps with creativity. It uses the high vibrations from the earth and the sun to help break through emotional blockage and creativity. So now we're getting into pillars. I call them crystal points. Some people call them pillars. Some people call them towers. They're any crystal that literally looks like a tower, a crystal point, all of those things. They represent energy flow and protective properties. So what does that mean? Energy flow. Think of like an arrow. That's how I think of it. Think of like energy flowing out of it. So when I hold crystal points in my hand, I always hold the flat end to myself and the arrow pointing out. And to me, that represents energy flowing from me out into the universe. So I'm like releasing tension, releasing energy. You can switch it if you need energy coming in. As much as I love these crystals, sometimes they can seem a little flat to me. Like I'm not as drawn to them as like I'm just so instantly drawn to points. The first one is this jade one. I love the weight of this. Like this is a heavy crystal. Like, whew. This is the money crystal. That's why I picked it. I will be super honest. Green, like I said, has to do with abundance. They say it's a good luck stone. So yeah, I'm not even gonna get into like, this is like a nurturing crystal. It has harmony, all of those fun things. Yes, you can Google it. The reason I have it is because it's a money crystal. And this crystal, actually, I have a really interesting story about. This is rose quartz, probably one of the most well-known crystals. I feel like people who don't even really get into crystals or they're very new, they know what rose quartz is. It is the crystal of love in relationships, the crystal of love in friendships. It's a really, really, really strong feminine energy. It is a healing crystal. So I'll tell this little interesting story about my rose quartz. A little while ago, I felt very stuck. I was kind of going through things emotionally. I had just kind of ended things with someone that I was really into. Kind of a weird stage in my life with like relationships, not really knowing what I'm doing with my life. Got home one night from work and I was like, I'm gonna cleanse my crystals tonight. Like I feel like tonight is the night. So I took all my crystals, I put them on my windowsill and I was gonna let them cleanse in the moonlight. I wake up the next morning and this crystal is broken. Like it's literally broken in half. And I was like, what happened? Like who broke into my room in the middle of the night and broke this crystal? I was like so upset. I had never had a crystal break. So I Googled it. So some people say when crystals break, it is all of the energy that the crystal had. It needs a release. And when you're releasing it, the crystal breaks. And a lot of the websites I was reading was like, don't get upset. This is a good thing. This means your crystal had bad negative energy and it's releasing it. It's breaking. It's letting go of the energy. It's making room for new energy. And I was like, how crazy. I'm literally cleansing my crystals because I need some new juju in my life, and the crystal of love is the one that breaks. Does anyone else think that's as crazy as I did? I was like high-key like shook to my core. If you're wondering how it got back to being so together, glued it with eyelash glue. Some people say you can just leave them as like now two separate crystals. Really, I just wanted it to be a pillar again, but this crystal called out to me and I was like, oh my God, I have to have this. I don't care what this is. This crystal is like literally like I'm obsessed with it. She was like, I actually don't know what this crystal is. She was like, I think it's one thing, but you know, the guy I get my crystals from thinks it's something else. So I did a ton of research on this because I got it anyway, even though I didn't know what it was. I was like, no, I need this. In my humble opinion, I've concluded that this is a Mukite jasper. I think you're drawn to certain crystals. So this is a balancing stone. So think deep in your soul, like the deepest part of you. This works to balance that. It's like a guiding or like a stabilizing stone too. This crystal will always be a little special to me because I literally didn't know what it was. And it ended up relating to my life so well. It also has to do with practical intuition. I keep saying I relate really strongly to intuition and to who I am, but I'm not the most practical person. I am kind of up in the air sometimes. Like I'm not always the most like practical focused one. That is why I'm obsessed with the stone, because it literally came to me. It flew down from the universe and was like, girl, you need some practical intuition in your life. So my favorite crystals of all time, black obsidians. I am obsessed with it. Black is one of my favorite colors. I did not know that crystals came in this beautiful color. It's a grounding crystal and it's extremely, extremely, extremely protective. It's probably my favorite grounding crystal because I feel like it just centers me. It brings me back into me when I'm stressed or anxiety ridden or I've got too many things going on and the world is kind of going all around me. I love to just recenter with this and just like deep breath. We're back, we're good. And it actually helps with balance. It's something I need in my life because sometimes I'm like super hot and super cold and you know, and I don't really always know like a middle ground. Like a lot of things in my life are black and white. Sometimes it's nice to find the gray, and I feel like this helps. Even though this is black, it's helping me find the gray in life, which leads me into my second black obsidian crystal. Do you see how I just did that deep breath just literally holding this? Like that wasn't fake. That was like a genuine, like the second I touched this crystal, it's like so, like I feel crazy. I literally feel crazy, but every time I hold this crystal, I instantly am like, feel my body calming down. The reason this is my favorite is because it is 2 crystal points, 2 ends. I'm obsessed. The reason that this is like one of my most powerful crystals to me, like this, if I had to give up all my crystals and I could only keep one, this is the one I'm keeping. Because when I hold crystals, crystal points, I like to hold them out so the energy is flowing that way. But this to me is like a double arrow thing. I don't know what that word is I'm looking for. So when I hold it, it's energy flowing in and energy flowing out. I just did my hands backwards. Energy flowing in and energy flowing out. I feel like if you struggle sometimes with like centering yourself or grounding yourself, this would be, I feel like double end points would be a really good way to start. It's because you can focus on that. So you're focusing, I'm going to close my eyes to really paint this picture for you guys. I feel like you can really, really hone in on that. If someone were to ask me, you know, how do you get into meditation? I would probably honestly suggest a crystal like this because I feel like, I don't know, it's a good little tool to help you think about that. We've got this guy right here. I'm obsessed. I got this one actually kind of recently. Yeah, white howlite. This is actually one of the most dominant guardian stones. Certain ones just have really strong properties. And the reason I like it is because it helps guide you by creating awareness. I feel like sometimes you can go through life kind of unaware of things. You're not really paying attention. That can leave you a little lost. So I like the idea of a guiding stone or a guiding crystal by creating awareness, helping me realize what's around me, what's within me, what I'm putting out to the universe, what I'm getting back. If you're aware of like negative things in your life, you can either, you know, cut them out of your life or figure out how to turn them positive. The positive things in life, you can appreciate them and be grateful for them and take advantage of them. So howlite, guardian, very good one to have around. This little peanut chicken nugget extra sauce little munchkin, I'm obsessed with this crystal. Like, it is so tiny and cute. It's like a little chicken. And when I was checking out at a crystal shop in Seattle when I was visiting my sister, I saw this right next to the thing and I was like, oh, I want this. I don't even know what it is. And I just put it in. He didn't even get a chance to tell me the name of it. So I actually have no idea what kind of crystal this is. If it relates to me, great. If it doesn't, cool. I'm obsessed with it. It's cute and that's why I like it. This circle, my fur. Oh my god, I literally cannot keep this in my hand. This is called a Dalmatian jasper. I put it on my story. This is my first ever sphere crystal. Sphere crystals represent completeness and unity. It's a circle, think wedding ring. It's a secure thing. So like when you think of like a crystal point, energy flow, this is a little more secure. It's a little more stable. First thing to note with Dalmatian jaspers, any crystal that has multiple colors is going to be a crystal that relates to balance because it's balancing both light and dark. And it actually helps break down internal barriers, which I thought was really cool. I feel like sometimes you're your worst critic, so I like that this kind of broke down internal barriers. And you know, I have so many crystal points that energy flow and creating space. I like the idea of something being a little more secure, cute. So amethyst, the big finish. This is a great crystal to have around. A lot of people, if you get like a starter pack of crystals, yes, they sell starter packs. I feel like almost everyone involves an amethyst. So this is a great stone to have around. It's a harmonizing stone. Obviously think things in harmony. It helps create peace. Also helps with insomnia, which I should start sleeping with this like taped to my forehead because I literally have the worst insomnia ever in the whole world. It would be nice to have this work a little better. Like I said, it is a harmonizing crystal, so I like to think that it like brings all of the crystals together. She's like an OG. Guys, those are all my crystals. It was really hard to explain crystals because a lot of it is how it relates to you. And a lot of these crystals make sense in my mind. Like this one, for instance, the fact that like energy flows in and out. People might be watching this and be like, girl, it is not energy flow. What are you talking about? But it makes sense in my mind. And I think that that's why I love crystals so much, is because they're for you. Like whatever it is, it's how it relates to you. And I think that that is so important to remember. You might get the same crystals as me and literally not relate to anything I just said. So now I'm gonna tell you guys where I buy my crystals. Here in Philly, I love Mineralistic on South Street. The crystals are all the way in the back. If you walk in, it's like crazy stuff in the front, but you keep walking. They've got little crystals, bigger ones in the back. She's super cool. They're really well like priced. Like this one I just got, I think was only like $16 or something. It was like 14 or 16. It was definitely under $20 for like this crystal. So like very well priced. I hope that this video was interesting if you like crystals. I hope it was a little bit informative. At the end of the day, the main points I want you guys to know are that crystals just help as a tool. You will not hold a crystal and it will not change your life. Like you will not touch this and all of a sudden all your problems went away, your healing is finished, emotional trauma from you know, your childhood cleared, money in your pocket. It's not gonna happen. That's not how crystals work. To me, crystals are just tools. You know, if I were starting to get into a relationship and, you know, I just wanted like positive energy around, I would keep this around because I just like the energy of it. I said this in my Hinge video with my mom. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's what you put into the universe is what you get. Like, the universe gives and takes. Sometimes you need a little help. And if putting a crystal by your bed and believing that it has good energy, if all of those things make you feel a little bit better and you just have a better outlook and you are taking on the world a little bit better, like, what is the harm in that? Then I think the pretty rock is doing its job. If you buy a crystal and something great happens to you, rewatch this video, fast forward to this moment right now. You're welcome. Look how easy that was. As always, I want to say thank you guys so much. I finally reached 100 subscribers. I'm well on my way to 1 million. 10 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 1 subscriber. If anyone enjoys my videos, that means something to me. So like this video to let me know that like you like this video. I got a bunch of ideas and I'm really excited to share them with you guys, and I hope you like them. I hope you like my videos. Thank you guys so much. That's my outro. I'm gonna go now. Bye.